Yo, it's your boy named Stone, back here with another rune guide on how to train your horse girl in Pretty Derby! Coming over the basic stats in App 2. 5 major core stats that your girls are going to have. Speed, stamina, power, guts, and wit. For a basic rundown, speed is how fast your girl can go. Stamina is her endurance. Power is how well your girl is to pass other runners. Guts is a little niche stats, but it's a little bit helpful when you're coming to the last stretch of the race. Wit controls your girl's pacing and how often they use their skills. Then we will have our aptitudes. Distance, sprint, mile, mediums, and longs, your track, turf, or dirt, styles, front runners, pace chasers, late surgers, or end closers. First, starting with sprint is your shortest distance, and you're mainly focusing on speed and / or power depending on which girl you're running. The biggest example I have is Sakura Bakashino. She's an innate sprint runner, and she mainly focuses on speed / power. If you're racing her in the pace chaser position, you can completely ignore power if you're racing her in the front position. Miles are pretty small too, but they are bigger than sprint tracks. More stamina would be required to finish mile tracks. Good example being Air Groove to Ogre Cap, who has an innate A in mile and could be run into a late surger or pace chasing position. Mediums require possibly all three, speed, power, and stamina. Medium tracks are going to be your second biggest tracks in the game, ranging from 20 to 2400 meters. Girls that innately shines on this distance, like Tokai Teo or Simply Rudolph, lots do actually, a lot of them could run on medium distances. Long distance stamina overhaul. You want to have high stamina because your girl is going to be running for a long time. Long distances runners like Rice Shower or Medra McQueen, depending on the type of style you're also running, speed and power will help tremendously for you to get into first place. Speaking about styles, front runners mainly rely on speed, stamina, and getting your wit up there. Your wit again controls their pacing and skill activation. This is crucial for front runners, examples being Mirozensky and Mayano Top Gun, who has a lot of innate skills to help them out to stay at the front of the pack or in first place. Pace chasers mainly rely on speed and power. Of course, they will still require stamina depending on the distance that they're running, but they mainly chase down who's ever in front, mainly eyeing down whoever's in first place and trying to overtake them whenever they see possible. Agnes Tachyon and TM Opera O has very good skills innately for pace chasing. Late surgers mainly requiring on speed, power, and weight. More on power and speed. Wit could come as a good third if needed. Surgers like Grass Wonder or Nice Nature, who innately has great skills, able to pass other runners to get into first place. End closers, power and speed is your deal. Guts will probably be your third. Great girls to dominate this field at the current moment, Goldship and Narita Taishin. Do note, each later position would require more power and less stamina. Legacies and Sparks is the next thing on the block chopping list. These sparks have a chance of generating stars on the sparks. The more stars there are, the better the spark. These sparks could range from blue, green, pink, and white. The blue sparks are your stat inheritance sparks, so you will have a chance of generating a blue spark in speed, stamina, power, guts, or wit. The higher the stat, the more likely it will be a higher star spark. This only works with the blue sparks, by the way, but again, there's still a chance. You will have a chance of it generating stat spark that you will want, and that spark will have a chance of generating higher stars depending on how high it is. To even have a chance to generating a 3-star spark, you will need to have a stat at 600 or higher. Having a stat at 1100 or higher increase the chance of you getting a 3-star blue spark, but it won't guarantee it. Green sparks are your worded down versions of your ults that could be passed down to other future uma-musumes. Umas. You will need to have a 3-star Uma passing down her ultimate. Pink sparks only generated from aptitudes that has an A or higher. White sparks, unlike the previous 3, you could generate multiple white sparks. To generate a white spark, you must at least come in the top 3 in a G1 race. It's not always guaranteed, but you will have a higher chance of generating a white spark if you win the race. When generating a white spark, you will most likely see a race name or a skill name. If you see a race name, this G1 spark will rather give you a skill and some stats, or some stats in general. The higher star the spark is, the more stats / hints you will get. This is the same way with the skill name. For example, if you get a white spark that says corner recovery, it will have a chance of passing down 2 hints of corner recovery to your current trainee. Affinities are basically your girl's compatibility. Affinity ranges from being a triangle to a circle to a double circle. Triangle being the lowest, double circle being the highest. The more compatible they are together, the better inheritance gets. The game by default has some pretty high compatibility characters in general. For example, if I want to train a Tokai Teo, I could use a Legacy of Medro McQueen and Simply Rudolph, which Tokai Teo has high compatibility for Medro McQueen and Simply Rudolph. When running in career, you're mainly focusing on 5 major things in this mode. Your goals. If you fail to meet your goals, your career run is over and that's the end of your run. Energy and your mood management. The more energy you have, the less chances you will fail at one of your training facilities. Having higher moods will increase the amount of stats you gain from those training activities as well. Hitting your rest button give you an event, one of the 3 events that will increase your energy by 30, 50, or 70. Hitting the recreate or recreation button, increasing her energy and mood. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you could hit karaoke with your girl, which raises her mood by 2, but doesn't get your energy restored. During summer events, which happen twice during your career, your rest / recreation button becomes the same. Inheritance events happen 3 times during a career. Once at the very beginning of your career, second time during your classic year, then once more during your senior year. So it happens literally at the beginning, middle, and end of your Umu run. Conditions have 2 main types. You have orange conditions and you have blue conditions. Orange conditions are mainly your good conditions. These help you during your career run. Orange conditions like practice perfect reduces the chances of failure all training facilities. Blue conditions, the ones that you really want to get rid of through the infirmary. Practice poor increases the chances of failure on training facilities. Slow metabolism, which this can cure itself, but for the time being, you cannot raise your speed. That's everything basically in career run, or everything that you need to mind while training your horse girl. Your support cards are going to be literally your backbone during your training runs. I will say there's 2 core types of support cards: stat sticks and your skill drivers. Stat sticks boost your stats consistently. Skill drivers give you really consistent, helpful, or powerful skills. Biggest examples for skill drivers: Super Creep with her swinging maestro, or stat sticks like Kitson Black with her crazy amount of speed. Either way, with that said and done, this is everything I got to give to you guys for the current moment, and I recorded this under 40 minutes. That's a new record. Until next time, adios and goodbye.